Bought it, crib, got it, job, on it. Did I ever?
The typical Winston Jerome story starts with a beautiful, educated, professional black woman trapped in a troubled marriage with a brown-skinned bald dude from Law & Order.
How can you do this to me?
Get out. I'm gonna marry this white hussy because you are too virtuous and strong and might make me a better man.
Then, a dude who looks like Shamar Moore shows up as the shirtless, light-skinned gardener who just got out of jail.
Excuse me, may I rake your leaves?
At first, she acts like she doesn't like the light-skinned gardener, but eventually she gets to know him and sees a sensitive side.
Now, I know that to you, I'm just a poor, light-skinned gardener who can't even afford a shirt. But I love me some Jesus, and I love me some you.
Oh, Lord, thank you, Jesus. I never thought I'd ever be with a man so loving and light-skinned.
And I will always be light-skinned just for you.
Being a good Christian woman, she gives her marriage one last chance because Jesus said so.
I am dark-skinned and bald, so I hate you, and I hate Jesus.
And just when the brown-skinned dude from Law & Order is about to hit her, here comes the shirtless gardener.
Hold it right there, bald-headed dude from Law & Order.
The woman and the gardener kiss, having found true love through Jesus.
Katt Williams recently shared his thoughts on Tyler Perry during an interview on Shannon Sharpe's podcast, Club Shay Shay. And everyone is wondering, why do some black actors, including Katt Williams, seem to have problems with Tyler Perry movies? So I'm going to break this down into 3 main talking points, and we're going to get started. Katt Williams, a highly regarded comedian in the black community, not only excels in comedy, but also in acting by immersing himself in diverse roles.
Whose goddamn white baby is that?
Known for both his movie roles and outspoken personality, he tends to keep a low profile due to past issues with women and the police. However, he resurfaces occasionally to really share his thoughts on topics he finds important. Having watched the interview, I must say that Katt Williams possesses a remarkable ability to captivate and entertain an audience. With an impressive 41 million views on YouTube, and it's growing every day, nearly equivalent to the African American population in America, it seems to be one of the most significant interviews of the century concerning black culture. Throughout Tyler Perry's history, Tyler Perry has solidified his position as one of the most commercially successful figures in African American entertainment. Renowned for his widely embraced dramatic productions, Perry's stage plays and TV shows gained popularity with their melodramatic narrative. Despite being hailed as a champion of black entertainment, some prominent black creators have voiced criticisms regarding Tyler Perry's influence on the industry. So let's break it down into 3 key talking points for a closer look. Underpaid actors. TarajiPHenson shook up the internet when she came online to talk about how she was being underpaid. So underpaid that she didn't even want to do The Color Purple this year.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over. I hear people go, "You work a lot." I'll have to. The math ain't mathing. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up, is a whole entire team behind us. They have to get paid.
Katt Williams, when asked about his thoughts on Taraji being underpaid in the industry, he explained that.
It was the saddest thing ever, because imagine being in your genre, in your sub-niche, whatever it is. Imagine being in your lane. Imagine being one of the very top of your lanes, that to the point where if they don't take you for the role, there's not 3 black actresses that they can say are bigger than you that we're going to give this to. Imagine you being at that point and have to humble yourself and say, they're not paying me, y'all. And they're not making my pay go up because I'm doing better or nothing.
Katt Williams highlighted Tyler Perry's alleged failure to support and adequately compensate other black individuals for their success.
Like we put too much pressure on Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? He ain't put nobody on. The people that been in his productions, they not famous. All of them can walk through the mall without security. Be what you gonna be, but put your people on.
Online insights into the general pay and working conditions at Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta, Georgia reflect a range of concerns. According to one source, the experience is described as very unorganized with low pay, prompting some to rely on additional jobs to make ends meet. A production assistant stated, "Good luck." An intern shared, "The only thing I didn't like was the people. I was treated like I wasn't good enough, working long hours for minimum wage." Another critique painted the leadership as
want to be in charge of a major company
company, citing Tyler Perry's limited involvement and the presence of underqualified staff. The turnover rate was highlighted as exceptionally high, with accusations of being treated like servants and receiving occasional subpar lunches. Quoted an anonymous source, when you work on his shows or movies, you can make good money. Not everything is worth it though, especially when working for employees who don't value or appreciate all employees, only some. Money can't buy all of your employees' love. These testimonials provide a multifaceted view of the challenges faced by individuals working within Tyler Perry's studio environment. There are additional articles addressing Tyler Perry's alleged contribution to the gentrification of black neighborhoods in Atlanta, portraying it as an assistance to the black community. According to reports, Tyler Perry positioned the opening of his production studio on the Fort McPherson Army Base in 2019 with sound stages named after wealthy black celebrities as an act of social justice for the surrounding community. Perry asserted during the BET Awards speech that building his studio in one of the poorest black neighborhoods aimed to inspire young black kids, claiming I was trying to help them cross. Contrary to Perry's narrative, some argue that it has been a reverse. Reports suggest that almost all of Atlanta's residents indirectly subsidized Tyler Perry's personal wealth, surpassing $1 billion. In 2015, Perry acquired the Fort McPherson land at a discounted price of $30 million, despite its appraisal value reaching up to $75 million. Critics, including local Democrats, deemed it as a sweetheart deal between Perry and then Mayor Kasim Reed, suggesting it served Perry's financial interests rather than benefiting the impoverished black neighborhood. A local resident expressed feeling deceived, stating it felt like a dirty trick. And that was from an article titled Tyler Perry's Wealth is Not Trickling Down to Black Residents in Atlanta, so I'm going to leave that in the description box. Number 2, mammy stereotypes. Tyler Perry has been criticized for perpetuating stereotypes about black women and men that trace back to slavery. While some argue that this may not be intentional, suggesting that one can absorb beliefs and stereotypes from their upbringing, Perry has repeatedly mentioned that Medea, a character central to his work, is inspired by the black women in his family. Humor, according to Perry, serves as an outlet to cope with the abuse and challenges woven in his own upbringing.
Change your name, you said, to distance yourself from your father, who, let's be honest, he sounds pretty brutal. He used to beat you relentlessly as a young man, which must have had an effect on you.
Yeah, well, of course it did. But I was able to forgive him in my mid-20s, and that changed my life. Because what I did was, what I think a lot of people don't realize or understand is that their parents have a story too. Now, so whatever happened in your life because of them you really need to find out the story so that you can understand it. And what I found about he and his sister and his brother, they were all found by a white man in rural Louisiana in a ditch. He was 2 years old at the time. He was brought to a 14-year-old woman named May to raise. Her father was bedridden, very old man, was a slave, and everything that she knew to do to get these children to behave was to beat them. She would tie them in a potato sack, hang them in a tree, and she would beat them. So that's what he knew. That's what he came from.
He'd been abused.
Oh, abused his entire life. Third grade education.
How did you find this out?
I found it out by asking questions finally of him, because I was talking to him.
So he told you?
He told me a lot about it. My aunts told me about it, and other people in the town, small town in Louisiana where he grew up, they told me about the story. So it helped me to understand a lot of who he is, which made it easier for me.
It's a natural tendency for us to categorize and create types. And stereotypes often latch onto vivid, simple, and widely recognized characteristics, reducing individuals to a few exaggerated traits. Given Tyler Perry's upbringing, witnessing internal struggles at his home may have led him to intellectualize the abuse by attributing it to an entire race, possibly influencing the portrayal of certain characters in his work. In addition to the pervasive, subtle stereotypes present in everyday media, especially during Tyler Perry's upbringing, black women were often confined to a limited set of roles on television in the 90s. These roles predominantly align with stereotypes like the mammy, Jezebel, and the Sapphire, reflecting a narrow portrayal that failed to capture the diverse experiences of black women. The mammy stereotype evoked both respect and fear, remaining untouched by both black and white household members. Depicted as an overweight woman with broad shoulders, large arms, and a wide stance, the black mammy embodies what Bell Hooks describes as a masculinized, subhuman creature. The Sapphire stereotype emerged as a feisty character on Amos and Andy show in the 1940s. Depicted as sharp-tongued, violent, and offensive, the black Sapphire is often shown rolling her neck, shaking her head, and placing her hand on her hip. The Sapphire is sassy. She mocks black men for a number of reasons, including but not limited to their unemployment and pursuit of white women. In a study assessing Tyler Perry's movies and characters for stereotypical traits associated with 4 main black women stereotypes, the results reveal a total of 1,389 assessed behaviors. Among these, 585 of these behaviors was categorized as embodying the mammy, 498 as demonstrating sapphire, and 306 as exhibiting traits associated with the Jezebel. Medea, a central character, was identified as displaying violent, domineering, and threatening behaviors 97 times. Additionally, she was visually assessed as a masculine figure 25 times, with instances such as being referred to as yes man and I can do bad all by myself. The study also noted cultural prejudices reflected in the love triangle between Charles, his mistress, and his wife, referring to a preference for fair-skinned Jezebels over dark-skinned women. Furthermore, the study observed that the prevalence of threatening body language such as rolling the neck and eyes and speaking loudly among black women characters totaling 169 instances. These findings suggest that the certain stereotypical behaviors associated with black women are recurrent in Tyler Perry's body of work. The next thing I want to highlight in Tyler Perry's movies is the use of struggle love and abuse. While Tyler Perry receives praise for maintaining control over his creative vision and not using a writer's room, a notable concern arises particularly regarding a portrayal of black trauma. Without diverse perspectives in the creative process, there is a risk of a singular narrative that may perpetuate certain stereotypes or focus extensively on black trauma, potentially limiting the portrayal of the full spectrum of black experiences. Incorporating various voices can offer a more nuanced and inclusive representation in storytelling. Tyler Perry himself proudly acknowledges that he creates stories tailored for black audiences seeking a specific focus on black pain and trauma. In a Netflix article titled Tyler Perry's Movies Tell One Kind of Story, and that's the point. Perry addresses critics, including those from Spike Lee, emphasizing his commitment to serving Southern black audiences. In response to criticisms, Perry stated to Level in 2020,
I speak my language. Black people sometimes don't want certain colors of black people being represented. I come from those colors and I'm not ashamed of my story.
Tyler Perry's movies have indeed encountered criticism, particularly regarding colorism and the retelling of the narrative that dark-skinned men are portrayed as vicious abusers, infantilized, or cheaters. This critique has been voiced by numerous celebrities, including Katt Williams, Chris Rock, Aaron McGruder on his show The Boondocks, and Spike Lee. The concern revolves around the perpetuation of stereotypes and the potential impact on perceptions of dark-skinned men in narratives presented by Perry's movies. In Diary of a Mad Black Woman, a critic notes, Helen's husband Charles is the darkest person in the entire film, and it's no mistake that he's the one that's the evilest. The comparison is made to Shamar Moore's character Orlando, portrayed as Helen's knight in shining armor. Several actors have voiced concerns and in some cases distanced themselves from Tyler Perry, fearing typecasting as abusers or being confined to low-paying roles with explicit scenes. The ability to showcase a diverse range of roles is crucial to a person's acting. Being confined to specific stereotypes in acting can potentially impact their career and opportunities and the variety of roles they are considered for later on. One woman said, when asked about Tyler Perry, "Our mothers and grandmothers deserve much more than that hat. Our fathers and grandfathers deserve so much more than Mr. Perry." Jamila Lameau criticizes Tyler Perry's use of the stereotypes in his work.
Another critic states, these 5 points and the continuation of these films underscore the danger of Mr. Perry headlining women's empowerment in 2014 or any other year. It is evident that Mr. Perry cannot create real depictions of black women because he does not love them. And no, not sexually, but rather Mr. Perry does not recognize the human condition of black women and of their complexity and nuance.
Spike Lee also said,
each artist should be allowed to pursue their artistic endeavor. But I still think there a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery and buffoonery. We could do better.
We're talking about Tyler Perry at this point.
Chris Rock said,
Tyler Perry is great in a dress. I don't want to see Denzel in a dress. The black community doesn't have that many movies. So if there's only 4 black movies in a year and 2 of them star black men in dresses, I could see how that will upset some people. But that's just a job for some people. Tyler Perry makes movies for women. I wouldn't even say the female Tyler Perry, the real Tyler Perry. Not that there is anything wrong with him making the movies. Even he will tell you. He knows that it should be a woman doing this, but he is doing it, and he's doing a great job at it.
Chris Rock said. As we conclude, it's clear that Tyler Perry's work has sparked considerable criticism from celebrities, entertainers, and articles for issues related to typecasting, low pay, and perpetuating stereotypes in his movies. What are your thoughts on this ongoing conversation? Share your perspective in the comments below, and thank you for joining, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.